Fitness and Fearless Athletics, where we want to make sure you get better every single day and that we're changing athletes' lives in a positive way. What is up? What's poppin', guys? We are coming at you with the leg day. Now, I take my leg day super serious. This one's a squat day, so there's squat and then a couple other exercises. There's a really big drop set, some hammy work. To fit in with it, I'll post another leg day at another point in time where, it's more volume, kind of bodybuilding oriented, I guess. But yep, so we're just going up the squat progression right now. This was 275 going up for 12. I peaked at 4 plates, so I'm kind of going up just the front side of the pyramid, and I want to finish somewhere between like 2 to 4 reps at my peak. Every now and then, you go for 1 rep when you're feeling good. So this was my 405 set. I ended up hitting it for 2, nice depth, everything like that. I don't start belting until I get to like 365, you know what I mean? Build up that core strength, build up that good diaphragmatic breathing ability. We finished the squat sets off by doing a drop set. So a lot of the time I end up doing full pyramids where I do every weight on the way up, the way back down for max reps, similar to the way we did the chest day stuff. But so we started with 3 plates and then we dropped it down to 2. I think I got somewhere between like 7, 8, that kind of rep range. Nice controlled breathing, good depth, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to get that volume and that good blood back into your legs, and make things harder for yourself, mentally challenge yourself and get in tune with your body and what you need to do, and it'll make you better and stronger throughout. So we re-rack the weight, strip a plate from each side, and then we get back at it with 2 plates. With the lower weighted sets, I try to really just focus on getting good depth and making sure my hips are coming all the way through. You can do that with low weight and your fatigue, so you're building that little stability work as you're fatigued and developing those good breathing habits. Here I wrap my knees. Like I said, I don't belt anything till like 365, but I wrap my knees always because I had an injury about a year ago, but they were just on a little too tight, so I am taking them off so I can finish the set. But you want to go for as many as you can, especially on the lighter set. Get that volume in, mentally push yourself, because you'll go down to the bottom, you'll be like, oh man, that's it, I can't get back up, and you'll be surprised you'll get back up. That means you got to do another one. My rule when I'm working out, I'm not recording or anything like that, is go until somebody's got to help you up. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to fail. Push yourself. It's the only way you're going to get better. You're just going to build that core strength and those good breathing habits. Now, this one is, as you can see me saying a little prayer or something right before the set. This is a really big drop set, and I love to do this on my squat days specifically, because I already broke down all the muscle. Now I'm in a seated position, kind of focusing on my quads, and I'm doing it with a little bit of a closer grip. But essentially, I started with 7 plates, and you want to aim to fail somewhere between 10 to 15 on every set. So set the weights appropriately to where as you're going down, that rep range within failure is about the same. So I go 7 plates, strip it 6, strip it 5, 4, 3, and I finished at 2. So 5 or 6 drops. It's a really big set. It's really going to push you mentally. You're going to get a crazy pump in your quads. You're going to be walking around like you're made of legs, you know what I mean? So I like pushing myself, and I like doing these things that pull you out of your comfort zone and put you in a place that you need to grind it out. One major thing I did want to point out when leg pressing is make sure, and it goes the same with a lot of leg day things, when you're squatting, your knees always extend like right about to your toe line and stuff like that. But like I see people doing lunge walks and whatnot, and they get this long extension of their knee past their toe, and you don't necessarily want to do that. It's not good for your patellar tendon. You'll start to develop tendonitis in a sense. And when you're leg pressing and using the machines and doing lunge walks and all that kind of stuff, make sure you're sitting back into where your center of mass is. Don't ever let that knee get out, or don't ever let the weight transfer through your toe box on your shoe, right? Through the ball of your foot. That's a major no for any leg day movement, right? You want to make sure the weight's coming through your heels. There's a few specific athletic movements and stability movements and focus movements where you're pushing through the ball of your foot, and it's quite beneficial. But for the most part, like, push through those heels and like get that good quad flexion, you know what I mean? And every single day that you lift, there should be a mind muscle connection. As you see, I slowly start helping myself up using the leg press itself. It's a hard set, man. You gotta incorporate little things like this, and it might be different for everybody, you know? Like, I thoroughly enjoy my leg days, and I take them very, very serious, and I try to hit legs twice a week, because for me, especially squatting, is such a mental grind that it makes you so much stronger of a person, because it's just you, and it's you under the bar. And you can feel the weight. It's kind of metaphoric. You can literally feel the weight on your shoulders, right? Going through your leg day, like, they're not the big Showtime muscles, you know? But that's the foundation of your body. Your legs are the strength and foundation of having a solid, sound body. And it's the best opportunity you'll have to focus on diaphragmatic breathing, which is something that I preach to the athletes that I coach, and I preach to anybody who lifts with me, and now to you guys too. Focus on that breathing. It is so dire and so important, right? And things like this that challenge you are just going to make you stronger in everything else. Drop sets, max rep sets, all that kind of stuff is going to push you and push you and push you. And eventually, as it gets easier and easier, you're doing things in the gym where people are looking at you like, man, like, that guy's a dude. Like, I want to be like that guy. Like, you know what I mean? Become your own hero. That's my biggest piece of advice when it comes to pushing yourself. And finally, we made it down to the last set of 2. As you see, I'm walking a little bit slower to take the weight off, but that's just the way it goes. You're down on the last set. I think on the last set, I actually ended up doing a little bit more than 15, maybe a couple extra reps, just because it was super light, and, you know, I want to get that good blood into my quads. So it's a really good movement. I like this machine a lot because of the angle that you're sitting at. The weight's not directly on top of you. It's coming back through your hips and core, so it's good stuff. I like it a lot, but it's definitely a killer. So right before we finished off, we did a little superset kind of thing. Another really good kind of like partner-based movement. It was lunge walks and then Romanians, stiff legs. You can't call them stiff legs because you do have a little bit of bend in your knee, but Romanians, right, you want to go to the point where you feel that nice stretch in your hammies. And now the focus point when you're going through these is you want to make sure that the extension is your hips. Just like at the top of a deadlift, the peak of the extension's in your hips. So when you come to the top, boom, right? Get that glute activation, get that full posterior chain activation. It's incredibly overlooked, and we'll just kind of come up methodically with the bar. Lock your back and shoulders into place, keep the bar close to your body, and boom, bring those hips through the bar, right? Bring those hips through the bar. Especially if you're an athlete, bringing your hips in movements, whether you're on the football field, basketball, coming out of the blocks, like whatever it is, your hips matter in athleticism. And then the second piece to this is lunge walks. So just like I said when we were doing the leg presses, as you can see, my knee does not extend. I'm sitting back into my center of mass, and that's super important to get that stretch in the quad of your back leg and the glute and the hamstring of your front leg. And as you come up, you want your hips to force you up and out of it. And leg day finishes off with some solid back extensions. My high school coach called this the glute ham machine. But so boom, get a nice extension. And the same thing where I was talking about your hips, you'll notice that my hips come off of the pad a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean you're doing it right. The reason why they come off the pad a little bit is because the movement is not focused where you think it would be. It's focused in my hamstrings and my glutes and my hip activation, me pushing my hips through the pad in order to bring myself up, so I can get that full erector spinae, glutes, hammies, and hips activation, right? Build a little bit of explosiveness in your core and build a little bit of explosiveness in your hips. It'll benefit you in all different walks of life. So, but that was pretty much leg day, the first leg day of many to come. It was a squat day. The next one I put up will probably be more of like a volume and supplementary workout kind of day. But all the rep counts, sets, and weights will be in the description below. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Instagram for daily posts. And stay tuned, guys.